There are tales whispered in candlelit rooms, in lonely cottages battered by the wind, and in pubs where old men lower their voices when the clock strikes midnight. Among them, few carry as much dread as the legend of the Banshee. Though often tied to Irish folklore, the presence of this spectral figure also echoes across Britain, especially in border regions where stories flow as freely as rivers. She is not a creature of flesh, nor merely a phantom, but a spirit wrapped in sorrow and inevitability. The Banshee is said to herald death itself, her cry a chilling announcement of loss that no one can escape. Descriptions of her vary, as if the Banshee shifts form depending on who beholds her. Sometimes she is seen as a pale woman draped in grey or green, her long hair streaming as though caught in a storm only she can feel. In other tales, she appears as an old crone, stooped and wrinkled, with hollow eyes that stare through the veil of life. There are those who insist she wears a blood-stained dress, torn by grief, while others claim she glimmers with ghostly beauty, the kind of beauty that unsettles the soul. But whether maiden or hag, one thing remains constant: her voice. It begins as a low wail, rises to a piercing shriek, and echoes in the air long after she has vanished. The sound of the Banshee is unlike anything else in nature. Some say it resembles the keening of women at funerals, a tradition in Celtic lands where mourners gave voice to their grief through song. Others believe it is closer to the howl of the wind across desolate moors, yet sharper, cutting straight into the heart. There are reports from centuries past of soldiers who swore they heard her lament before battle, only to fall the following day. Families told of hearing her outside their homes, moments before news arrived of a loved one's passing. Her cry does not cause death, but it warns of it, reminding all who hear it that mortality cannot be outrun. Legends suggest the Banshee is bound to particular families, following their bloodlines through generations. In Ireland, she was said to be connected to ancient clans of noble heritage. In Britain, the tales became more tangled. Some claimed the Banshee appeared only to families of old Celtic descent, while others swore she haunted anyone who carried tragedy in their lineage. Farmers in Wales, shepherds in Scotland, and even fishermen along the English coast whispered of encounters with her, the unearthly voice drifting over hills or waves. Always, the message was the same: death was near. What makes the Banshee so unsettling is not just her cry, but the sense of inevitability it carries. We live in an age where science explains storms, sickness, and shadows in the night. Yet even now, the human heart struggles against the truth that death is the one certainty. The Banshee embodies that certainty. She does not kill, she does not touch, she reminds. And it is this reminder that makes her terrifying. When a person swears they have heard her, they are left waiting for the blow to fall, each creak of the house or knock at the door turning their stomach cold. Writers and poets have long been fascinated by the Banshee. She appears in ballads, in Gothic literature, and in modern stories that twist folklore into new forms. For some, she represents grief itself, the way sorrow clings to families and echoes across generations. For others, she is the ghost of those wronged, a spirit doomed to warn others because of her own tragic fate. In parts of England, whispers suggest the Banshee is linked to drowned women, or mothers who died in childbirth, their cries carrying the sorrow they never released in life. One of the most enduring questions is whether the Banshee is to be feared or pitied. Is she a monster delighting in terror, or a mourner condemned to sing of death forever? Some accounts paint her as compassionate, her cry not one of malice but of sorrow for the family she warns. Others insist her shrieks curdle the blood and drive men mad. Like many figures of folklore, she resists simple answers, lingering in the space between horror and empathy. Even today, in quiet villages and remote countryside, stories continue to surface. A traveler hears a strange wail in the night and later learns of a fatal accident nearby. A family claims a cry rang out beneath their window the evening before their patriarch passed away. Are these coincidences, or echoes of an older truth that refuses to die? Folklore, after all, is not merely fantasy, it often carries the weight of centuries, shaped by the fears and experiences of countless lives. The Banshee endures because she touches on something universal. We may not all see her, but we all know what she represents. Every culture, in its own way, has spirits or omens tied to death. The British Banshee is simply one of the most haunting expressions of this truth. Whether we think of her as a myth, a ghost, or a symbol of grief, her cry continues to chill the imagination. So, if you find yourself walking alone on a desolate road, and the wind carries with it a wail too human to dismiss, pause and listen. It may just be the wind, or it may be something older, something that has haunted these lands for centuries. Perhaps you will hear the voice of the Banshee, lamenting yet another passing, her cry a bridge between the living and the dead. And should that happen, remember, she does not come for you. She comes to remind you that no life lasts forever.